All right, we are live from the War Room. Sam Corcoran, Chris Schroyer, familiar faces in with me, Shrikar Agendran. But Luke Fain is stepping in as a special guest for this episode. UFC 320 is on the horizon. He's ready to give y'all some great bets, as are the three of us as well. But, Luke came in to give us a little bit more insight, and we always appreciate that. This is a stack card from top to bottom. Fellas, real quick, we'll just go around the horn. How do you feel about this card? Obviously, main event, Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. We're going to get the rematch. Merab Dvalishvili versus Cory Sandhagen for the bantamweight strap. And, of course, Jiri Procházka and Khalil Rountree, which could be a title eliminator at light heavyweight. Fellas, what do we think?
Yeah, this could be the best card of the year, if I'm being honest. 2 championship fights, title eliminator. I feel like we've been seeing the UFC stack a lot of cards lately. Main card looks absolutely loaded from top to bottom. I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah, same. I think it's going to be good. Not too often you get a rematch this quickly. I mean, obviously Pereira has earned it, but seeing it at such wide odds is a little bit concerning for the Alex Pereira stands out there. But yeah, we're going to get into it. Repping the Yankees. This will be posted after game 3 of the wild card. That is tonight. We're recording on Thursday. So I'll throw in a little note, whether I'm depressed or very happy in the editing. So you guys will get a little experience of that. But yeah, I'll kick it over to our good friend Luke. Go Syracuse. He went to school with us. So
yeah, let's go Red Sox. But yeah, I'm very excited for this card. Specifically the Rountree fight. I think that could be a really good one.
100%.
Noted New York Giants fan Luke Fain. As you can see, huge Giants fan in the background.
No, for context, he's a Jets fan, but the Giants decals have been in the back for a while, so we can't get the New York teams messed up.
Fake fan.
Yeah.
Oh man. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to turn on the notifications so you never miss a video or a stream. We're gonna have a recap after the event go live pretty much right after, probably the next day, so don't miss out. But we got 14 fights to get through. Let's dive right into it, starting from the bottom. Ladies, kick it off here. Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker. I'll start this. Honestly, I see this as a mismatch. Walker hasn't fought in over 2.5 years. Last time we saw her, she got dominated by Yasmin Lucindo and finished by Juliana Killer Miller on tough. I thought she retired. She comes back at 36 against Hardy, who's been active and flat out better everywhere. Hardy's younger, quicker, and I think she's even the better grappler. Walker's 1-4 in her last 5. Not a good look. Hardy, meanwhile, has wins over J.J. Aldrich, Miller, who I just mentioned before, Jamie Lynn Horth. Only setback was to Eduarda Moura, and Eduarda Moura is a beast. I think Hardy is going to cruise here. Most likely a unanimous decision, but if she pours it on, maybe a late finish. Odds are wide at -700 for Hardy, and for good reason. My pick is going to be Veronica Hardy by decision.
Yeah, same here. This is an easy one for me. I see this fight kind of being a snooze fest. Veronica Hardy should dominate this fight. She's a decision artist, so I think this one does go the distance, and I think Brogan Walker is just not. It's a complete mismatch. I don't think it's going to be that close.
I agree. Not too much to be said here. 36 years old, coming off 2, I would say, bad losses. I thought Juliana Miller was going to pan out a little bit better than she has been, but albeit I think Veronica Hardy, she's better everywhere. I see it going to decision. I think Brogan can do enough to stay alive, but yeah, I mean, Veronica Hardy married to Dan Hardy, MMA runs in their family. Dan Hardy.
Shout out to the other War Room.
Yeah, shout out to the OG War Room, I guess. But yeah, Dan Hardy, commentator for the PFL now. But yeah, he's a great trainer, and his wife is a solid fighter. So I'm going to take her here as a huge favorite.
Yeah, I mean, she's -700 for a reason. Good way to start your parlay, though.
That's a great way to put
it. We're all going great Veronica insight. Hardy. Now, this next one is a fun one. We got Ramiz Barhimaj versus Austin Vanderford. I'm going to kick it right back to our special guest, Luke. Who you got in this one? +240 odds on Barhimaj, Vanderford.
Man, I'm taking the underdog. Give me Ramiz.
There you go.
Sorry if I mispronounced that, but I'm taking the underdog. I like the value, and I mean, it shows sorry, let me pull it up. 34% of the bets with 74% of the handle is on him. So
That's a lot.
I like my chances there.
Should I take it?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Go for it.
I think Fane said it perfectly. I mean, that is a huge number. That's a number that I was looking at as well. I think Vanderford's all right. I mean, you see 13-2, and that kind of screams to, I guess, people who don't really look too far into fighters that, wow, all right, this guy is solid. However, he did get to a Bellator championship appearance. He was, I believe, knocked out by Gerard Mousasi. Let me check that. He lost to Gerard Mousasi.
Yep,
That is undoubtedly. Yeah, he got ground and pound in the first round, and then lost to Aaron Jeffrey in Bellator, who's not a finisher at all. He's all right, but he's not a finisher. I think Vanderford, he's solid. He has great grappling. He's a wrestler by trade. But on the feet, I just don't really see too much from him. And I see Barhimaj as someone that is tough as nails. This is a guy against Max Payne Griffin who literally had half his ear hanging off and made it to decision. The doctor had to come in and tell him, yo, like, what are you doing? He wanted to keep going. I think on the feet that Barhimaj definitely has the advantage. And I think early he's going to be able to stuff takedowns. Another thing to note from the betting perspective is that Barhimaj, he is sitting at plus 240. 240. Okay, sitting at plus 240. Him to win in round one is plus 340. So that is crazy, in my opinion. There is not a big discrepancy in that. And I think that, obviously Barhimaj is going to have the advantage early. And I could honestly see a round one finish. So give me Ramiz Barhimaj to finish Austin Vanderford by knockout in round one.
Wow, by knockout. Okay, I'm going to hop on the underdog train here. But I have Barhimaj by decision. Vanderford is known. I feel like his best thing is his chin and his defense. But Barhimaj is just all offense. He's going to attack you. He's going to submit you. And I feel like when that offense is overpowering, at what point does the chin give out? I like Barhimaj a little bit better on the ground. Vanderford's ground game is pretty good as well, but I think Barhimaj's ground game is great. And that's what separates a good fighter from a great fighter. That's why I have Barhimaj by submission in this one. I don't think it'll happen round one. I think you're probably looking at more rounds 2 or 3, but give me Barhimaj by submission. I'll hop on the underdog trade at plus 240.
Yeah, I guess I'll lone wolf this one. Barhimaj has had some recent success finishing Mickey Gall and Billy Ray Goff, but let's be honest, those guys aren't UFC level anymore. Gall was checked out. Goff was unproven. Austin Vanderford, this dude, as Chris mentioned, this dude was the next prospect in Bellator, beat Fabian Edwards, fought Gegard Mousasi, made his UFC debut with a dominant win over Nikolai Veretennikov, who we're about to talk about in a bit. His wrestling is on another level, and his boxing's clean enough to back it up. Both guys can grapple, but I think Vanderford is just better in those exchanges. Like, Barhimaj is tough. Like, I'll give you that. He's durable, but he's hittable. Vanderford's jab, and I think his wrestling as well, should carry him over 3 rounds. I'm going to say Austin Vanderford by decision. I do think the odds are a little wide, but I see him grinding this one out. Let's move up the card.
I will also say just one quick thing. If Vanderford does win this fight, I think it will be by decision. I don't see him finishing Barhimaj.
Quick question. Does Austin Vanderford get an attribute boost for being married to Paige Van Zandt?
Of course.
Anyways.
Of course. Yeah, it's going to be a factor as well. We move up the card. I love this fight. Punahele Soriano versus Nikolai Veretennikov. Sam, you lone wolfed on Veretennikov at UFC 318.
Ooh.
Are you riding him again at UFC 320?
Yeah, man, I lone wolf and he pulled it out against Prado, who was a heavy favorite. This time no, it wasn't a heavy favorite. I think it was a 50-50, but this was the one I switched on. I picked Prado, and then I went back on my word mid-episode and flipped to Veretennikov. This time I'm picking Soriano, and I'm not flipping. I feel pretty confident that Soriano is going to win this one by knockout. Veretennikov did not look great in his last fight. I actually thought Prado won that fight. I know I lone wolf it, so I was very happy with the decision. But Soriano just looks like the better fighter at this point. Nothing really has really impressed me recently from Veretennikov's end. I need to see more before I can pick him again. Thank you, Nikolai, for everything you did and helping me with that lone wolf pick. Giving me that one. I don't know. Hey, he had me up 1, so it worked out. But I got to go with Soriano for this one. I think Soriano knocks him out.
Either one of y'all, take it.
Oh, I mean, I'll go. I mean, dude, this actually was this is a hard fight for me to pick. I love Punahele Soriano. I think his weight cut down to 170 is definitely going to help him a little bit. The one concern, or the few concerns I have with him is, he gasses pretty quickly, and I think the weight cut, I mean, it's kind of 50-50 because it either really helps you or really hurts you. And I think that he's a great striker. Don't get me wrong. And I feel like we've seen a good amount of fighters winning just because of effective aggressiveness. And don't get me wrong, he's a great power puncher. Like he packs a punch in every strike he throws. But at the same time, Veretennikov he's kind of like a fearless fighter. He just walks forward. And one fight I'm going to point back to is his time on Contender Series. He fought Michael Morales. And obviously, Michael Morales is one of the best prospects in the UFC. And I don't even think we can call him a prospect anymore because he's in the top 10. He's a very good fighter. And that most of that fight, he was putting Michael Morales on the back foot. And he was not scared at all of what was coming back at him. And I think that's something to note. I feel like this fight should be more of a coin flip. I'm going to give it to Puna I'm going to say like a late finish. I'm going to say late round 2. I'm going to say a knockout for Puna in late round 2, but I really want to take Veretennikov because of the value. I see a lot of value in him, but at the same time, close fight against Prado in his last outing, and I think the weight cut's going to help Puna here. So give me Soriano by late round 2 finish.
Yeah, I also think there's value in him, but I'm going to take Soriano also, but I think he finishes him in like mid round 1. I think it's gonna be pretty early.
Yeah, Veretennikov obviously squeaked out a controversial win last time against Prado, but honestly, he looked beatable. Soriano at welterweight, though, that's a scary guy. He's explosive and has shown improved wrestling. Veretennikov is heavy on his feet, decent jab, but pretty flat and not the most athletic. Soriano is faster, and I think he can take him down if he wants to. On the feet, Soriano's power is the difference. I see Soriano, just like you guys said, either knocking him out or just dominating with pressure. I'll lean decision because Veretennikov's tough, but I wouldn't be surprised if Puna flattens him. I think the knockout is definitely live, but I'll go Punahele Soriano by decision here.
Can I throw in one more thing? Sorry, sure. I'm like doubling back on my
I want to throw one more thing after you too.
But yeah, so I another interesting thing that I see is the over is set at 1.5. It's minus 180, but the fight to go the distance is sitting around plus 190. So Vegas does see this being sort of a late finish, and I think Veretennikov, like I said, Puna is not great when he's being walked down. He doesn't really fight very well off the back foot. So I think if Veretennikov can utilize that, he will find success. But I'm going to go with the power puncher. And obviously, like I said, the weight cut it'll be interesting, but I think it's beneficial for a fighter like Puna.
Yeah, and I also think Puna, I just want to say last thing, I think Puna's a tougher opponent than Prado. If we're saying Veretennikov struggled against Prado, I think he might struggle against Soriano this time around.
Definitely agree.
100%. Moving up the card, Patchy Mix versus Jakub Wiklacz.
The wooden board, Patchy Mix.
Chris, you want this one?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. I really want to see how Jakub Wiklacz does in his UFC debut, and he's coming from KSW, I believe, which is a Polish promotion. He is Polish, somewhere over there. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, when this fight was announced, this was supposed to be on the last pay-per-view, correct? Or a few pay-per-views ago. I don't think
not the last. He fought at Patchy Mix fought at 316. 319 would be a quick turnaround.
Was this fight scheduled to be earlier? I feel like this fight was scheduled to be earlier.
It was always 320.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'm probably just completely wrong, which I am. But I'm not going to be wrong on this one. I'm taking Patchy Mix. I'm actually taking him by submission. I think that obviously there's a big aura in a bad way around Patchy Mix's last performance. He was stiff as a board against Mario Batista, but the striking from Batista is phenomenal. He has proven time and time again that he can really take it to people on the feet and just break them down with his leg kicks and punches. I don't think that same threat is coming back at him standing up from Wiklacz. I think Wiklacz is a phenomenal grappler, and we're really going to see a grappling display here. So I think Patchy Mix, he'll make use of his sophomore appearance in the UFC like a lot of fighters have. I mean, obviously we saw Pitbull come in. He kind of had somewhat of the same performance as Patchy Mix. He was very tentative and almost looked like the lights were too bright for him against Yair Rodriguez, and Patchy Mix the same against Bautista. But I think that in grappler versus grappler, I'm going to side with one of the best grapplers in the world in Patchy Mix. I think that he's going to be able to get it done. And Wiklacz, obviously, he's going to come out with a ruthless aggression. He's going to want to make a statement, especially in his debut, and have a name on his resume like Patchy Mix, who was considered to be one of the best MMA fighters in the world and then put up a complete goose egg. But yeah, I think that the line is this wide for a reason. So I'm going to go with Patchy Mix by submission, excuse me.
This is a showcase for Patchy Mix. Wiklacz comes over from KSW, good grappler, solid on the mat, but Mix is world-class in that department. Bellator champ, long, slick, and underrated striking. I think Patchy dominates. Wiklacz has some kicks, but his boxing is mediocre. Patchy's better everywhere, and I think, just like Chris, he probably gets the sub. I will also go Patchy Mix by submission.
Thane, you want to go?
Sure. Yeah, I'm also going to take Patchy Mix, but I'm going to take him by decision. I think this is kind of going to be a not the most eye-pleasing fight, but like everyone is on Patchy. He's getting almost 90% of bets and money, so I don't really think anyone believes in Wiklacz, but yeah, I'm just going to keep it simple and go Patchy.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest must-win fights of the year for Patchy Mix. He comes in with so much hypes and gets absolutely destroyed by Mario Bautista. Credit to him. Great fighter, Mario Bautista. We should not discredit Mario Bautista. But Patchy Mix came in with so much hype, and probably out of all the guys that have come in from a different promotion this year, has fell flat the most. This is a must-win for him. I think he gets it done. I think he knows that this is a must-win for him. Give me Patchy Mix by sub. I think he's ready to come out, and I think he's ready to destroy his opponent this weekend.
Yeah. One more fight on the early prelims. All of us in agreement on Patchy Mix. Solid women's bantamweight matchup here. Macy Chiasson versus Yana Santos.
Macy.
Santos is experienced, clinch heavy, decent Muay Thai, but Macy Chiasson is bigger and just better at this point. She's 5'11", has the range, and she's more physical. The only worry is her weight cut. In her last fight against Ketlin Vieira, it had to be moved up to a featherweight bout because Macy couldn't make the weight. But assuming Macy does make 135, she should handle Santos. I'll go Macy Chiasson by decision.
Yeah, I feel like I'm also going to go Chiasson by decision. Santos just hasn't proven me much in her recent fights. I know she's experienced, but like Miesha Tate, should I be impressed by beating Miesha Tate in 2024? I don't really find that impressive. Chiasson has shown a lot more. She's also a lot bigger. I'm not going to say this is a mismatch because I do want to give Yana Santos credit for where credit's due because she is experienced and a good fighter and has held her own. But I think Chiasson is just far past Yana Santos at this point. So give me Chiasson by decision.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also going to take that too. I'd be shocked if this fight didn't make it all 3 rounds, but I think it's a pretty simple Macy by decision.
The odds are, look at these odds, by the way, over total rounds for 2.5 minus 250.
Ooh,
it's pretty
that
high.
is a perfect fade spot for me. I don't think this is going the distance. I'm going to see Macy Chiasson winning by submission here. I think that she is the better all-around fighter. She's the bigger fighter, and that's obviously very advantageous for in I guess historic MMA history, being the bigger fighter. The reach isn't that big. It's only a 3.5 inch difference, but Macy Chiasson, as you guys can see on the screen, is 5 inches taller. I think she's just a way better grappler than Yana Santos. And obviously Yana Santos, like Sam said, is experienced, and I'm not going to discredit her resume because she does have some good names under her belt. She's fought some good competition. But one thing I've noticed is I was watching a little bit of film, just scrolling YouTube, and Yana Santos, is she kind of just cannot deal with grapplers that put her against the fence. And there was one fight. Let me check Tapology real quick. Shout out Tapology, free promo. But yeah, was it against Carol Hosa? It might have been against Carol Hosa, but she found her way to her back and got dominated on the ground, and she wasn't even taken down, which is very interesting to me. I think that's the fight that it was. I might be mistaken, but Yana Santos cannot defend a trip takedown for her life, and that is perfectly in line with Macy Chiasson's game. She is a trip takedown merchant, and obviously a strength versus a weakness. That is exactly where you want to go. That's exactly where you want to take the fight. So I think that Macy Chiasson gets her down, and I'm gonna say Macy Chiasson by rear naked choke. That is a very specific pick.
Very
right
specific. I was gonna say.
I was about to say that is a very specific choke, but we've done it before. We predicted specific submissions. I remember I did it on 318 a couple of times. But kicking off the prelims, this is a low-key good fight.
I love this fight.
Daniel Santos versus Joosang Yu. Luke, who you got here?
I'm going to take the underdog. Give me Joosang Yu. I just really like the spot here. I don't really see this fight being, what is he? Like plus?
He is plus
125.
Plus 120. It's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah, I don't think he should be that big of an underdog, and I see a lot of value here. So I'm just going to stay simple and take Joosang.
Trigger, I want to know what you think after this.
Okay. Who's going? Me?
Nah, Sam, you go. You took it first.
I go. Perfect. I'm very excited for this one. I think this fight's going to end in a finish. I think it ends in a knockout. Daniel Santos, he's had some great knockouts over his career. Joosang Yu has arguably the knockout of the year for his knockout back. I believe it was at UFC 314. Still holding it up, in my opinion, as knockout of the year. Where he just absolutely, it was 316, where he absolutely slept that other guy he was facing.
Jeka Seregi.
Yeah.
He's still sleeping.
I have not seen anything that can stop Joosang Yu at this point, and that's why, until I see something that Joosang Yu could be stopped for, I don't think I can pick against him. I'm going Joosang Yu by knockout here. And that's no discredit to Daniel Santos. I just think Joosang Yu is on a tear right now. He's a wrecking ball in this featherweight division. I think he gets another knockout to his resume.
Daniel Willie Cat Santos.
Willie Cat.
He is a wild man. Big combos, pressure, solid grappling. But Joosang Yu, this kid is sharp, man. Clean striking, nasty timing, and he's fast. He's very fast. I think Yu catches Santos with the cleaner shots and keeps him honest. Santos can wrestle, but I don't think he controls Yu for that long. So I also like the dog here. I'm going to go Joosang Yu by decision. Contrary to what you guys think, I don't think this is going to end in a finish. Santos has a really, really good chin. If you go back and watch his fight against John Castaneda, the dude was eating shots after shots, even like knees that really should have put anyone out, but he ended up surviving and then caught Castaneda with a really good knee that put his lights out. So I think this will go to a decision, but I do think Joosang Yu will win the day with volume and output. So give me Zombie Jr. in this one.
Yeah, no, I think this is a great spot for Joosang Yu. However, I do think that we need to pay attention, like Shrikar said, to Daniel Santos's chin. It is absolutely unreal. And even it was very funny in his last fight against it was Zhang Yong Li. Zhang Yong Li was tagging him up in the first round. Like he was putting B2A, if you know what I'm talking about. But it was interesting because they scored the first round for Daniel Santos, which I don't understand how that happened. But he squeaked out the last two rounds. I think Joosang Yu needs to have a great performance in the first round. I think he really needs to put pedal to the metal, because once it gets to those second and third rounds, that's where Santos kind of lives. He kind of downloads data in the beginning. He's a very calculated fighter. I think he's great everywhere. He does have powerful, crisp striking. He's great on the ground. And I think Yu really needs to be weary of the takedown, because if Santos can get him to the ground, and we haven't really seen Yu tested in that way, but if Santos is able to get it to the ground or even just in the clinch, I think he definitely has the clear advantage there. However, I'm going to side with all you guys, take the underdog in Joosang Yu. I'm going to take him by knockout. I think he's on a tear, like Sam said, and I really don't see him fading that fast. I mean, obviously, we haven't really seen him put in cardio dominant situations, if that makes sense. Like, where we really have to actually evaluate.
He's at one fight in the UFC and it was 30 seconds. So
exactly.
Like,
so we really don't know too much about him, but I saw a lot in that 30 seconds. Crisp, powerful striking, and if you can't get your head off the center line, he's gonna find you and he's gonna put your lights out. So let's go underdog, clean sweep.
Everyone all in on the underdog, Joosang Yu Zombie Jr. in this one. We move up the card. Farid Basharat versus Chris Gutierrez. Don't get it twisted. This isn't Javid. This is Farid.
Yep.
Who is the better Basharat brother, in my opinion. But Sam, I'm gonna let you kick this one off. Who you got?
Yeah, I got Basharat in this one. I think I'll probably go by sub for this one. I was between sub or decision, but it also, I mean, I really could see this going any way for Basharat. I just think he wins this fight. Overall, I mean, in my opinion, he's the better grappler by far and away. He's good on his feet. He doesn't really use it as much, but he is good on his feet. And I don't want to get that twisted. He has better cardio, better chin. I like where he's at right now. Undefeated fighter. I think he stays undefeated after this win over Chris Gutierrez. Give me Basharat. I'll go by sub for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I also like Farid, but I'm going to take him by decision. I mean, this fight, in my eyes, is a lock to go the distance. Like, none of them really offer too much, like, sub or knockout potential, so I'm just going to take him by the points.
I agree.
Yeah.
You can go, Shrikar. You want it?
I was just about to say, I agree. Farid is legit, fast, technical, mixes striking and grappling beautifully. He's undefeated for a reason. Gutierrez is tough, great leg kicks, good patience, but he's a bit too patient sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He also struggles when taken down, and I think Farid can exploit that. I will also go Farid Basharat by decision. Wide odds, he's minus 500, but I think it's deserved.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I already said I agreed, but I think that this would be a lot closer of a fight if this was, I would say, a few years ago for Chris Gutierrez. I feel like it's almost it's kind of like a mirror image. In my opinion, I feel like Chris Gutierrez is an older version of Farid Basharat, and I'm very high on the Basharat brothers. I think they're both very good and very technically sound, which, you know, wins a lot of MMA fights when you don't really put yourself in trouble. I think we're just going to see a lot of distance striking and then a lot of clinch work. It's not going to be a visually pleasing sight, but it's going to be a grinded out decision for Farid Basharat. And yeah, it's just, like I said, very technical. And I think that he's going to be able to break Gutierrez down. And I really do not see this getting finished. I think Gutierrez's IQ is just a little too high for that, to put himself in dangerous situations.
Yeah, so we're all going Basharat here. Pretty easy pick. But this next one's interesting. Edmen Shahbazyan
Golden
versus
Boy.
Andre Muniz. Chris, if my memory serves me right,
don't even say it.
The Atlanta card, the last time we saw Edmen Shahbazyan fought, you picked against him.
Yep.
Have you learned from your wrongs here?
Nope. Give me. Yeah, I learned. Sorry. Yeah, Edmen Shahbazyan, he's back in a big way. I doubted him. And like I do with every fighter, I doubt Edmen Golden Boy Shahbazyan. I deeply apologize. But yeah, that was a different Edmen than we've seen in the past. He looks very crisp, and obviously he's a world-class kickboxer. And against someone like Andre Muniz, who puts himself in terrible situations, he is very chinny. He's not going to be able to return what Shahbazyan is throwing back at him, even though I'm not going to say he's bottom of the barrel, but he's definitely close to it. I mean, it's just it's visually unpleasing to watch him fight. It just feels like, dude, what are you doing? Like, do this or do that. And he just does the complete opposite of what, me sitting from my couch. I know nothing. I have not been in an octagon. I really have no right to say it, but I feel like at the same time, I feel like he could be a better fighter if he gets that IQ down. And I feel like he's going to kind of he's going to egotistically go at Shahbazyan in the way of Shahbazyan's strength. And I don't think that's that's not a game you play with a great kickboxer like Shahbazyan. So give me Shahbazyan by knockout. I think we're going to see a finish here. I think it's going to be early. Let me see the over-under for this fight.
Over-under, I got you. It's over 1.5 is plus 144. So it's kind of a pick-em for this one.
Yeah, I think that this is going to go under, and Shahbazyan's going to make a big statement.
Yeah, I also like Edmen here. I think him knocking out what's the other guy's name?
Dylan
Muniz.
Yeah.
Andre Muniz.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
I
think knocking him out is like basically a lock, and I wouldn't be surprised if this fight lasted like a minute and a half.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, Edmen Shahbazyan, his last fight, he beat a guy named Andre. This one, he's also going to be a guy named Andre, and he's going to do it by knockout this time.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. He's a knockout artist, and Muniz doesn't necessarily have the best chin, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's very chinny.
Yeah, he's very chinny. So I'm just taking Shahbazyan by knockout. We'll make that one quick and easy.
Yeah, Muniz is a jiu-jitsu wizard, but super chinny. His last few fights, he's been finished multiple times, including a knockout loss to Ikram Aliskerov. Shahbazyan's striking is crisp, and his takedown defense has gotten better. We saw that in the Procházka fight. If he stays composed, I also think he knocks Muniz out. I will go Edmen Shahbazyan by knockout. Speaking of knockouts, let's go to our featured prelim. This is a showcase fight.
Do we even need to talk about this?
I'll make it quick. Yeah. We got to give the people at least a breakdown. Gauthier is a monster, 23 years old, power in both hands, scary athleticism. Vines is here to make Gauthier look good. So give me a Teba Gauthier by first round knockout. This dude is special. No need for me to say anything else.
Yeah, this guy has brass in his knuckles, bullet trains for hands. Teba Gauthier. They don't even have odds on this one because they're so confident that Gauthier is going to win by knockout. This is easily the lock of the night. Give me Gauthier by knockout.
Yeah, I don't even see the point of talking about this. It's probably not going to be close.
Yeah, Tre'Ston Vines, I'm sorry. I hope the UFC is going to pay your hospital bills after this.
Shout out to him for taking this on short notice, though, I will say. That's big respect. There's just no way he's going to win this.
Gauthier is probably one of the scariest looking humans of all time. I don't know how this guy cuts to 185. It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, I mean, he is the biggest favorite in UFC history at minus 3,000.
He's minus 3,000?
Yeah.
You might need to sprinkle a little bit on Vines for his plus odds.
Let's see on...
I saw opening odds have Gauthier at like minus 1,000. I didn't think it would climb that quick to minus 3,000.
Let me see. I swear I just saw minus 3,000. Yeah, on ESPN bet, he is minus 3,000. So he is the biggest favorite in UFC history. And I know no free promos, but there are certain books that are not even offering this fight.
Yeah, I might try to get a $30,000 loan and try and win $1,000 on Gauthier.
$1,000 is on the ground. We'll just pick it up.
Yeah, if there was $1,000 on the ground, would you pick it up? Yes.
Oh, that's man. Crazy. All right, main card time. Banger opener. Joe Pyfer versus Abus Magomedov. Fane, I'm going to go to you first. Who you got?
Give me the underdog. Give me Magomedov. I love him here. It's a great spot. He's plus 200, getting like 25% of the bets, but like half the money. I love him, and I think he's going to win by submission.
I like it out of you.
Wow, okay.
I like it out of you, Luke. All right. Am I going? You guys going?
You want to go, Shrikar? How about why not?
I'll go last.
Pyfer has crazy knockout power and underrated grappling too. Abus is dangerous early, slick kicks, but his gas tank fades fast. If Pyfer survives the first few minutes, I think he closes the distance and finds the knockout. I will go Joe Pyfer by knockout in this one.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, both of these guys have looked very impressive recently. Magomedov has won 3 straight. His only losses have come to Kyle Bahayo and Sean Strickland, 2 of the top guys in the middleweight division. Pyfer's also looked great. Doesn't have as many good names, but he's been looking really great so far. So this is going to be very close. I lean Pyfer here. And by the way, I will say the odds, Magomedov is a plus 200 underdog. I think it should be closer than that. This is a really tough one to pick for me, but I lean Pyfer. Like you said, Shrikar Magomedov's gas tank is not great. Pyfer's got hands. He can do it all. I think if Magomedov wants to win this fight, it's going to be on the ground. And I think Pyfer's ground game, solid. I mean, it's not the best, but it's solid. It's good enough to get by. On the feet is where he's going to thrive. And I think he wins this one by knockout as well. I'll go TKO. I don't think Magomedov gets slept. It'll be a TKO.
Yeah, this fight was very interesting to me when I heard it, because obviously, you look at Abus, and he's had a slight up and down in the UFC. I mean, he came in against Sean Strickland as a solid favorite. Obviously, he did great in the first round and then gassed himself out, and Strickland just picked him apart in the second round. I think he's learned from that. The reason I really don't want to pick Joe Pyfer is because of what I saw in his last fight. He just looks for the one shot that's going to absolutely put your lights out. And I think once you get towards the upper echelon of the UFC, that's just not going to work. So Abus is very chinny, but I see him wrestling Joe Pyfer up. Give me Abus Magomedov by decision. I think that this is going to go to decision. I think Abus is he's a calculated fighter. He's just got caught in some bad spots. I think he's learned from that, and I don't see Joe Pyfer using the game plan that I think I would like him to use. And I think that there's a lot of value on Magomedov. Fane obviously mentioned 30% of the bets, half the money. I think a lot of other people see some value on him as well, but it obviously could end in a first round knockout from Joe Pyfer. I think it's funny that Joe Pyfer is like Mr. America, and he's fighting a German, Dagestani, Russian wrestler. So if he loses, dude, his head is going to be in a spiral. I don't know where his confidence level is going to go. But yeah, I'm gonna take Abus on this one. I see him actually executing a very solid game plan and negating the striking that's going to come back. And people forget Abus has very versatile striking as well. I mean, his front kick knockout over Dustin Stoltzfus, and just what he did to Michel Pereira. And obviously we've seen the trend that Pereira is going on, but he still got in a little bit early on that, and he dominated that fight. So yeah, give me the dog on this one. I'm not overly confident, but I'm not scared to take him.
So we were split on this fight, but honestly, I think the next fight up the card is a little bit trickier for me.
Ooh, no,
Josh Emmett versus Youssef Zalal. Chris, I'm gonna put the burden on you.
Sure.
Take this one first.
I have seen everyone and their mother on Youssef Zalal. Absolutely everyone on Youssef Zalal. So I'm taking a trip to the unction. Give me Josh Emmett by decision. I think that this is a great spot for Josh Emmett. I think obviously Youssef Zalal is an amazing fighter. Went 3-1 in his first stint in the UFC, got cut, went to the regional scene, and he came back a completely different fighter. He came back a fighter, like in the beginning of his UFC career, he was a rangy striker. He played the distance game. He came back. He was a pedal to the metal. I'm going to grapple you up, grind it down, and submit you. I don't think that's going to work against Josh Emmett. I think Josh Emmett's going to be the aggressor. I think he's going to put him on the back foot. And we've seen Youssef Zalal, or I've seen Youssef Zalal. I don't want to speak for you guys, but Youssef Zalal has a tendency to run. He'll land one or two jabs, then he'll kind of just go against the cage, do his little circles. And obviously that could be a solid game plan. But another thing that made me think is the way the UFC judges have been going. I think, like I mentioned in what fight was it? I mentioned it before, but effective aggressiveness. If you're landing, a jab and a cross, circling the cage, and someone is walking you down the whole fight, for some of these MMA judges that I don't want to criticize all of them, but in recent memory, it feels like that has been that has been an effective game plan. And Josh Emmett is not going to get knocked out. That he's not going to get knocked out. I don't think he's going to get submitted. I'm going back to his Lerone Murphy fight. He had a close fight with Lerone Murphy. He lost by a round. Youssef Zalal is not Lerone Murphy, in my opinion. I think that this fight should be in closer odds. I think I'm willing to throw on a near plus 400 dog, especially in a time in the UFC where we've been seeing the unks winning, and not winning, putting B2A on fighters that you just don't see. Michael Johnson against Daniel Zellhuber. Like that one card, UFC 318. That was absolutely insane. Also, taking a page out of Fane's book, I think he's actually going to mention this. On DK, 36% of the bets are on Josh Emmett. 66% of the money. That's a lot. That is a lot. I think Youssef Zalal is going to be the parlay breaker for more than 70% of the people that bet on this card. So give me Josh Emmett by decision at a plus like 900.
Yeah, I mean, I think Emmett is a great sprinkle. Like, I don't know. There's plenty of value on him. Like, I think this fight should be closer, but like at the same time, I think Zalal is probably going to win, and I'm going to take him by points. I mean, I feel like the line is what it is for a reason. Like, yeah, Emmett's good, but like Zalal is like, I don't know. I don't really see him losing this, and I think it's just going to be by points.
I also
agree.
agree.
Going to decision.
Yeah, this is a fight going to decision. Zalal is very elusive. Josh Emmett has wrecking balls for hands. It's tough. This is a tough matchup for both of these fighters because I think Emmett's strengths don't match up well against Zalal, but Zalal's strengths also don't match up well against Emmett's, if you kind of get what I'm saying. So I think it's going to be an interesting way to see who wins this fight. That's why I have it going to decision. I think at the end of the day, though, when you look at where their strengths are, I tend in decision fights to take the wrestling a little bit more and the ground game. Who can evade the striking a little bit better? So that's why I'm taking Youssef Zalal by decision. But man, do I not feel confident about that pick? This could go either way. I know the odds say it's heavily favored for Zalal, but do not be surprised if Josh Emmett wins this fight. Honestly, not a bad underdog bet either. I was very much. I think if this fight were to finish before the final bell, Emmett would win this, but I think Zalal takes this by decision.
Emmett has that death touch power, but Zalal is slick. And contrary to what you're saying, Chris, about the tendency to run, I just think Zalal is hard to hit. Like, I just think that's literally what it is. Like, he's looked incredible lately, really sharp footwork and cardio for days. I think Zalal avoids the big bombs and just picks Emmett apart over 3 rounds. I'll go Youssef Zalal by decision. Again, it's probably going to be a mirror image of what happened with Murphy and Emmett. You just kind of avoid those big right looping shots, and you can pretty much just outpoint Josh Emmett. Like, that's literally what can happen. So I think that's what will happen here. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this card. If you guys
I can't believe that was a lone wolf with 4 people.
Yeah. But I mean, Zalal is a minus 500. Like, I don't think you should expect.
Hey, my minus 500 favorites recently on pay-per-view main cards have not had much success.
Oh no, Olberg was a minus 300.
No, pay-per-view main cards.
Oh, what was the last pay-per-view? I mean, Chimaev was a decent favorite.
But he was a minus 500.
318 was the one we saw a lot of underdogs.
I'm telling you, we're taking a trip to the Unction. I can't wait for Josh Emmett to win.
Yeah.
Not happening. Jiri Procházka versus Khalil Rountree. This is obviously a very fun fight. I have a lot of history with Khalil Rountree and a very, very, very good history. If y'all don't know me going first, this is going to be a super, super biased breakdown just because Khalil Rountree is my favorite fighter in MMA. This is the guy that got me into the sport. But I'll go about it as unbiased as I can. Jiri Procházka feels more dangerous now than ever before. We've seen him go through some struggles with Alex Pereira, but those fights really forced him to tighten up his game. He's managed to blend some actual fundamentals into that trademark wildness that makes him so unpredictable. Khalil Rountree, his career resurgence has been one of the coolest stories in the division. Early on, he was inconsistent, but now, like, he's locked in. Roundtree's obviously a nasty Muay Thai striker who mixes in some of the most brutal weapons you'll see in this sport. Hammer fists, kicks, knees in the clinch. The risk here for Rountree is very obvious, and that is Yuri's pace and unpredictability. most guys who try to play Jiri's game just get drowned in the chaos he brings because he's always bringing the fight to them. But the thing is, Rountree has really leaned into staying grounded in his fundamentals lately. He doesn't get dragged into wild exchanges as easily anymore. And remember, only one of these two actually dropped Alex Pereira. And it wasn't Jiri. So what does that tell us? That tells us wildness is fun. Chaos is very fun. But efficiency will win the day. If Khalil can stay disciplined, one moment at a time, staying upright, staying sharp, he has got a very real path here. Let your opponent do all their funky stuff, but the moment they step into your range, punish them. Chop the legs, rip the body, crack the head. This fight's almost certainly ending inside the distance. Goes without saying. And if I've got to lean one way, I think Khalil Rountree gets it done by TKO. Khalil, Warhorse, Rountree Jr. as an underdog by TKO. Dog of the night.
So I'll back straight off of that point because I think Khalil Rountree is the most disrespected fighter in the UFC, plain and simple. I think a lot of it stems from getting a quote-unquote undeserved title shot over Magomed Ankalaev to fight Alex Pereira at UFC 307. But look what he did. I mean, it was funny because all three of us, we didn't have the podcast at the time, but me, Chris, Streetcar, were all saying, this is going to be a lot closer than people think it is. And sure enough, it was. This guy has got it. He gives Alex Pereira his toughest test before Ankalaev, and then he goes out and dominates. I mean, dominates Jamal Hill. I know that fight went to decision. It was a dominant fight all on. There was no way Jamal Hill was winning that fight. He's also beat Anthony Smith, Chris Daukaus, I should say. He's on a tear right now. And I don't want this. He is one of the most disrespected fighters in the UFC. And this pick let me rephrase. This pick does not take away from the fact that he's the most disrespected fighter in the UFC.
You're about to disrespect
that. But Jiri Procházka is on a tear unlike any other right now. He is beaten everybody in the UFC, not named Alex Pereira, and no one has come close to stopping him besides Pereira. I think Jiri is by far the better fighter here, and that again, no disrespect.
No one's come close.
What?
No, people have come close. People have definitely come close. Glover Teixeira came literally 1 split second away from beating Jiri Procházka.
I guess, but it's like Yuri's on a tear. We haven't seen a minute in the light heavyweight division outside of Pereira's run. I think he's a lot better of a fighter than Khalil Rountree. Again, no disrespect to Khalil Rountree.
You're literally disrespecting him. Like there's no point in saying no disrespect if you're just disrespecting. I'm giving my credit where credit is due to the winner of this fight, who is going to knock out Khalil Rountree, Jiri Procházka. And I don't want that to take away from the fact that Rountree is being disrespected. I want the focus to be on how good Jiri Procházka is. And I think we're about to see another. He's already won a championship before, but this is the fight that gets him into another championship fight. And I think he beats whoever he fights next, because I don't think it's going to be Pereira. I think Pereira, like I said, I think he's done at light heavyweight after this fight. So he'll fight Ankalaev, he'll fight Olberg, whoever knows. I think Procházka wins that fight too.
Yeah, I mean, I also got Jiri by knockout, but like in the rare chance that it makes it the whole time or to points, I could so see Rountree winning, but like I think it's probably gonna be a bloodbath and someone's gonna knock someone out. But yeah, give me Jiri.
Ooh, so I get to be the decider. I like this.
Not the decider, you're the splitter or the decider.
I guess, yeah. So do I give Shrikar the lone wolf pick? What do you think, Shrikar? Should I give you the lone wolf pick?
Do whatever you feel, man. I'm confident in Khalil Rountree. I'm always gonna back my guy. So you go with what your heart desires, man.
Yeah, sorry, I'm giving you the lone wolf pick.
I
see Jiri winning by knockout, late third round. I think that Rountree is a top. I'm gonna say top 5 striker undoubtedly in the UFC. When this guy lands, it's just like taking a sledgehammer and smashing it against a brick wall. It's insane. But the one thing that I think Jiri really needs to be weary of is he loves to walk in with his chin high to the sky. And if you give Khalil Rountree a target, he's gonna hit it, and he's gonna find it and knock you out. Excuse me. I think the one thing that I'm just scared about, the reason I'm scared for taking Khalil, is he's not the most active on the feet. He lands, I believe, 3.2 significant strikes per minute. Can you pull that up, Sam? Actually, on the website. Okay, 3.79. A little bit lower. He gets hit more than he hits his opponent. And I'm not saying that is the end all be all. I just think against a guy like Jiri, who is just going to be pressure heavy. He is hungry when it comes to 3-round fights. He does not let you breathe. I think if Jiri gets out of the first round, I could so see a Khalil Rountree knockout in the first round. But I think if Jiri gets it to the later rounds, I think that's where he's going to thrive. And I haven't really seen Rountree fight too well off his back foot. I think he also thrives off being aggressive. And that's why I think this is going to be an amazing fight. They're just going to meet at the middle constantly. And it's really just going to be who is able to land the harder, cleaner shots in that little, in like the pocket work. And if Jiri gets Khalil to taking steps back, then I feel like he has it in the bag. However, Khalil is very stubborn. So I don't really feel too confident in taking Jiri, but I'm going to take him by knockout because I just think he has a little bit more to, I don't want to say like more to prove. I just think, dude, I think he wants to see Pereira again. And I don't think it's going to happen, but I think he wants to realize his title aspirations one more time. And I know he gets a lot of slack for, or a lot of flack, excuse me, the wrong word, for beating a 40-year-old Glover, pretty much losing to Glover and then pulling out a crazy submission because of Glover's misjudgment. But I think Yuri's about to be at the top again. And it's going to be a crazy fight for however long it lasts. But I'd rather side with, I don't want to say the more proven because Khalil's proved a lot to me, but I feel like Jiri is very proven. So I'm going to go the Samurai and Jiri Procházka by knockout.
Can't say I expected it any different. I love that I'm the lone wolf for that one.
I kind of knew that was going to happen.
No, I love it though. Like I wanted to be lone wolf.
I always write down the predictions.
Last time I went lone wolf on one of my favorite fighters, it was Max Holloway against Dustin Poirier. I was right about that. It's going to happen again. Khalil Rountree is going to knock out.
I always write the everyone's picks down. So when I make the graphics, is you go back to before this fight was even predicted. I wrote Streetcar Lone Wolf. I knew that. I just knew.
Man.
But I'll start with this Streetcar.
Yeah. We go from my favorite fighter to Sam's favorite fighter.
Can I change one of my picks?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Which one? Where are we going?
No. It's okay. You don't have to scroll. I'm changing Josh Emmett by decision to Josh Emmett by knockout.
Okay, so you're not changing the fight. I thought you hyped me up, man. God.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, let's get into the championship bouts. I'll start with this one. I'll go quick with this one. Credit to Cory Sandhagen for getting here. Overdue. I mean, he's a great fighter overall. He can do it all, knock you out, wrestle, go to decision. He can do it all. Merab can do it all and more. Merab is the better wrestler. Merab has the better cardio. Sandhagen might have the better hands, but I don't really think that matters for Merab here. Merab is going to smoke Cory Sandhagen. I believe that Merab is going to submit him. I'm probably going to go round. It's weird because Merab always likes to. I feel like he's better late when like the cardio is wearing out, but I think he could submit him earlier. I think of everyone Merab has fought, in his title run, I think this is the easiest test for him so far. I'll go Merab submission. Give me round 2 or 3 for that. Make it quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think Merab's kind of the square play, but I mean, it's like you said, like he's probably just going to tire him out like every round, and he could honestly win all 5 rounds, but I'm going to take the points. I don't really think it's like, I don't think he's going to submit him. I think it's just going to be points.
Chris, you want to go or should I get it?
You can go. My dog is barking.
All right, let's talk about Merab. This guy is truly one of one in MMA history. His striking, it's not flashy, but it's sharp. His grappling, straightforward, but man, it's brutally effective. But where Merab separates himself from everyone else is his pace. Now, a few years ago, Cory Sandhagen might have been the perfect guy to stop that. Back then, he was unpredictable, throwing flying knees, spins, weird submissions, you name it. That chaos could have caught Merab before the cardio trap got sprung. But the way Cory's been talking about this fight, it sounds like he wants to test Merab everywhere, make it a pure skills battle. That's not going to work. In fact, that's playing directly into Merab's hands, because if you let Merab dictate where the fight takes place, then you've already let him dictate the pressure and basically the entire fight. And the crazy part is, if Cory just went back to being reckless and hunting for a finish, he'd actually have a shot. He's got about 2 rounds. He's got about 10 minutes to throw everything at Merab. The knees, the spins, the submissions. He has a chance to do all of that before he fades. That would give him a chance. But Cory wants to fight, quote unquote, smart. And in this matchup, that's exactly what's going to cost him. Merab breaks the game. Like, if you're too focused on playing the game right against Merab, you have already lost. So I think this is going to be Merab's easiest fight in a very long time. I'll go Merab Dvalishvili by dominant decision, possibly a 50-45, 49-46. Merab is going to get it done very, very easily in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I love Cory Sandhagen, and as much as I want to take him, I just feel like I can't. It's just very, very, I would say, atypical of me to take to bet against one of the GOATs of their division. Probably at this point, the GOAT of the bantamweight division. I mean, it's just, Merab has proven time and time again, man. When you doubt him, not even doubt him, when you try and take the fight to him, he's just gonna be like, okay, brother, and then just take it back right to you. It's just that simple. And I mean, I think we're gonna see a Cory Sandhagen versus Umar 2.0 fight. I think that Umar did a great job of negating Cory Sandhagen, and Cory Sandhagen did a great job of testing Umar. He was able to get out of a lot of bad positions against Umar, but he was held there for too long to be effective when he got up or, even shoot his own takedowns. Shrikar, I think you described Merab the best that I've heard, at least, just out of all MMA Twitter. He's a game breaker. He literally is a cheat code. There's no other way to describe this guy. He has a granite chin. I don't even know if he has a brain up there, but if he does, it works tremendously. But Cory Sandhagen is one of the most unorthodox fighters. I think Merab's going to take a little bit to figure it out. I think that Cory Sandhagen wins 1 round, maybe, but I would not be surprised about a 50-45, 50-45 across the board. But if you were betting on a book that offers a point spread, I think Merab minus 5.5 is an amazing bet. I think that's an amazing bet. I could see 49-46s across the board. Actually, no, a 48-47. No, it could be a 48-47, 49-46, 49-46. That'll still cut it for you. I think that is a perfect. I think that's a perfect spread line. But yeah, I just don't really see Cory taking too many rounds off Merab, especially at the rate he's been going. This guy could be champion until he retires, in my opinion.
I agree. Completely
and
agree.
Still from the 4 of us, but we go to our main event. Here we go again. Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. Luke, our special guest. I'm going to go to you first for this main event.
Yeah, I think Pereira is going to shock the world. I think he's going to win, and I think he's going to win by knockout. I know this might not be a hot take because I guess, let me pull it up. 45% of bets on Pereira, 69% of money. I guess other people agree with me, but I don't know. I've watched Ankalaev, and I mean, he just seems unbeatable sometimes, but I'm taking the value here.
Yeah, I'll go next because, and I watched back the last fight where Ankalaev he dominated. Pereira did not have any answers for Ankalaev throughout the fight. But what I will say is Ankalaev didn't look all that great. I thought he could have been a lot better. And he is right now. I mean, the way he fought Pereira, he looked like the better fighter out there. But a lot of that was just pitting him against the cage, not really doing any wrestling. And I think a lot of what Ankalaev was backing off of in that last fight was that in the end of round 2, that one jab that got Pereira and stunned him. And Pereira was never the same. This time around, I think both fighters are going to come out a lot better. I think Ankalaev, if you want to be champion, you should be better the next time. There's a lot for both of them to grow on. I think this fight does go to decision. I don't think anyone gets the finish because I think these are two fighters. It is going to be closer than the first fight, in my opinion. Kind of reminds me a little bit about Usman and Edwards. Not the first. The first fight was very, Usman Edwards 2 was very like Leon came out of nowhere and did it. Ankalaev was, I think, slightly underdog, maybe slightly the favorite out of one. But the second fight was very close. And you saw both of those guys go at it. A split decision win. I see this as a split decision. I'm leaning Pereira right now. I think I think the way that he lost that last fight, I think there's a lot more to learn from that from Pereira. And I think he can come back, look at how that last fight went. I think if you want to get back on track in your Alex Pereira, I think this is the perfect time to do it against an Ankalaev who, let's be real, looked beatable last time. That's the thing. He looked beatable. It's going to be hard. This is a hard thing to do, is beat Magomed Ankalaev and get back the belt. But Ankalaev looked beatable. I think Pereira can beat him. I think if there's anyone in the UFC that can beat Ankalaev, I would say Jiri probably has a better chance, in my opinion. But Pereira's right there, too. And I think he gets this done this time. It's such a close fight, but I'm going to go Pereira by split decision.
Chris,
You want me to go? Dog is still barking.
we'll hear him
yeah.
in the back.
Good boy. This is a very hard fight to pick. Very, very hard. I think something that I've been taking into account is Pereira was sick 10 days before the fight. I feel like he was a little bit overworked, and it definitely showed. And he said he was at 40%. And obviously, you don't want to hear excuses. Everyone's hurt. Everyone isn't feeling their best going into a fight. And if they say they are, they're lying. That's just straight up. I think that Magomed definitely has all the tools to beat Pereira. Like, he has the grappling advantage. He can definitely take him down. And obviously, he was 0 for 12 on takedowns against Pereira in the last fight. If he utilizes that game plan, I can definitely see Ankalaev, coasting to a victory. However, on the back end, Pereira, he's very good takedown defense. He's a rangy striker. And I just feel like that wasn't the Alex Pereira that we knew. And I really think him being sick was a reason for that. I mean, obviously you're sick 10 days before the fight. You can't really train. You're just trying to rest up. Even when you come back, you're not 100%. And he didn't look 100%. I was ultimately shocked that Ankalaev dominated him in that fashion. I'm going to say he dominated him. He really took it to Pereira. And there was no doubt in my mind that Ankalaev won that fight as soon as the final horn sounded. But Pereira at plus 200 is just so juicy. It is so juicy. I feel like Alex Pereira at 100% beats Magomed Ankalaev. And I think he's at 100%. So I'm going to take Alex Pereira to win. I'm going to take him to win by knockout.
Is Shrikar going to lone wolf Ankalaev? I did not think Ankalaev would be a lone wolf, or not even picked this one, I will say. That shocks me.
So, Magomed Ankalaev is sitting pretty as the new light heavyweight champ. And after that first fight with Alex Pereira, to address that, close on the cards, but still a clear win. That's what I'll say about that fight. He's got a real chance to run it back the exact same way and win. Now, Pereira's definitely the interesting side of this matchup. This is a guy who ran through 2 divisions and looked unstoppable. And then in their first fight, he just, as Chris said, didn't look like himself. His kickboxing, which is usually some of the best in the entire UFC, was flat, and he was hesitant. And that's really the question here. Whoever wins this fight, I think it's going to be decisive. I don't think this is going to be a split decision. Whoever wins will do it in a clear fashion. But the result hinges almost entirely on why Pereira looked so bad last time. If it was Ankalaev shutting him down, or if Pereira's just hit that wall and started to decline, then Ankalaev is going to dominate this fight again. But
easily,
if Pereira just had a nightmare night, and let's be real, even in that off performance, he still kept it close, then you've got to lean toward him bouncing back and getting it done. Was it just a bad night? Probably. Ankalaev didn't exactly scare him with the takedown threat, and the striking exchanges were really more about Pereira being sluggish than Ankalaev lighting him up. Like, I feel like the whole narrative around that favors Ankalaev more, and I completely disagree. Could Pereira really be washed already?
No.
Maybe.
I'd be shocked.
But actually, it would be shocking for a guy who's been that active and that sharp to fall off a cliff this fast. To me, I agree with Chris. It feels more like he had something temporary going on, or he's just had time to reset and recover. My pick in this fight: if Pereira shows up looking like even 85% of the guy we know he can be, I think he clips Ankalaev. I will say Alex Pereira by TKO.
Wow.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. I did not expect that to happen.
I'll just back what I said on stream in streams prior and close this out. All of us going with the huge, juicy underdog.
I think there's just a lot of recency bias, man, and obviously for good reason. Like, Magomed looked great in that fight, but like I said, you could just tell that wasn't Alex Pereira. That was the shell of Alex Pereira standing in the cage. Like, when have you seen Pereira strike like that? Even at maybe 70%, it just looked like he didn't have any zip on his shots, nothing. Like, there was definitely something bothering him, and it's hard to overcome a sickness, 10 days out from his fight, especially if you get sick exactly 10 days out from your fight. That weight cut is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Your body.
This is why I strongly believe that this is his last fight at light heavyweight.
Exactly. Like, your body's trying to fight us.
So he can prove
real quick, let's have a conversation about that. Let's say, okay, win or lose. What does Pereira need at heavyweight to get the title shot? Do you think if he loses to Ankalaev this Saturday,
if he loses,
just do Poatan and Aspinall immediately?
No. I think if he loses, he fights.
Give him Sergey.
Probably Gone, because I think Gone's gonna get smoked. He probably fights Gone and then takes on Aspinall after that.
Interesting, because the way I'm thinking about it is the title eliminator at heavyweight is Volkov and Almeida, but I don't think the UFC is rushing to put either of those guys in the spotlight before a potential.
I would like to see Pereira versus Pavlovich.
I don't hate that either.
I think that would be a solid.
It depends how they want to maximize money off of Pereira, because he's only got so many fights left.
I think we're also going to have to see how this Tom and Gane fight goes, because if Gane looks terrible, then there's no way they're putting Pereira against him.
If they want him to get a win, then it's kickboxer against kickboxer.
But I will say, if Pereira wins, he's getting a title shot at heavyweight. No doubt about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
They will not shy away from the chance to do Poatan and Aspinall when both of them have the belt.
And they're going to try to do it even if he loses, I think. I think they'll try. We'll see what happens, but that's my thing. They
will.
And thank you to the sharpest capper we know, Luke Fain, for joining the podcast.
Let's see how I do before you call me that.
No, it should be a good night for us. We're really excited about this card. UFC 320 going to happen on Saturday. By the time you see this video, it should be Friday. So we got one day to go, but it's going to be a very, very fun card. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, like the video. If you enjoyed it, step into the war room with us, man. We're going to be going for weeks on end after this one because we got a nice run of UFC events lined up. But UFC 320, we're all excited for Sam Corcoran, Chris Schroyer, and Luke Fain. I'm Shrikar Gendran saying so long. We hope you guys